Hey y'all, welcome back to another video on moving towards your authenticity. Um, so today I decided to use the question that I have on my Instagram, the question of my brand. My brand is inspired to be authentic. It's built around the question, how much of you can you be? And I want to explore this today because it's really about how much of you can you be in both directions, right? We often think, how much of me can I be? Like, how much of me can I shine out into the world? Which is one aspect of it, okay? And I think that's how people oftentimes think of this question, but it also is intended for introspection, for us to look at how much of me can I be? How much of me can I honor within myself, which sometimes means I have to come back down to the level of where I am, not where I want to be, okay? So this video is going to be for you if you are of two type of people. One, you're a people pleaser. You want to always make sure that everybody sees you a certain way. You love controlling people's perceptions of you. And that is because we are afraid of judgment. So another criteria that you'll get a lot out of this video is if you are somebody who's afraid of judgment or criticism from other people, because that's what a lot of this work is about. It's about overcoming our fear or our shadows, so we can bring forth the entirety of who we are and we can honor that. And I want to share an example that'll help you guys understand what I mean by this, because I'm experiencing this. And if you haven't caught on yet, if you're new to my content, a lot of my content is built around my own personal transformation, my own personal experience. It's like I kind of use my own personal diary to make a business, which it's great because a lot of relatability there, and I end up attracting clients who are perfectly aligned to the work that they want to do because they are connected to me and they're vibrating in a similar energetic resonance as me, which is great. So I've been navigating this interesting terrain lately around polyamory and monogamy and what it means for me. It's a very common thing in the gay community for people, and you have people that are really pro monogamy, people that are really pro polyamory, and I don't know where I am. I've always been a proponent of monogamy, but I've also been in an open relationship for 4 years before. So I've kind of played and I've dabbled with both, and I feel like I'm coming back to this again where I'm dabbling with both. And in the last few days here, I've had a pretty big realization around what this means for me. And I kind of realized that I was playing, and I'm playing it out through the how much of you can you be, because I sometimes get caught up in this courage of like, I have to be vulnerable, I have to always push the boundary, and I get caught up in this mentality as a coach and somebody who's all about personal development, but sometimes I betray my own boundaries when I do this. And I think that's what I've been doing in the last few months around navigating polyamory, and what that means for me is I've been betraying my own boundaries. I'm not ready to engage in this, but yet I've been using my mind and other people's expectations and perceptions to try and get myself ready for polyamory. But then the thought of actually being in it or engaging in it, and then I connect with somebody, I fall in love with them, and then they want to start having sex with other people, it makes me extremely anxious. And I'm like, okay, so then I had this epiphany the other day in the shower, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? How much of me can I be is also about how much of me can I be in the sense of honoring where I'm at in any given moment. And that's also how much of me can I be, right? In this moment, it makes me feel anxious, or that I'm betraying myself to push myself into something I'm not ready for. So I'm allowing myself to be honored, and I'm no longer betraying myself. And then who knows, maybe a year from now, I'll be in a place where like, how much of me can I be could mean, yes, I'm liberated and I'm moving in towards polyamory and it feels good for me, right? So that's what I mean by this concept, is it's really about exploration of where you're at in any given moment and honoring that, okay? So authenticity is about giving a spot at the table for both your shadow and your light. They get to come together in harmony, okay? And this is really important when you're doing authenticity work, because oftentimes we think the only part of us that we can bring forward is this radiant, beautiful, authentic part of us that is light and bright, but that's not actually the truth. The truth is, without the shadow, we're denying parts of ourselves, and we're not allowing ourselves to be real, be authentic. That's what real authenticity is. So a lot of honoring our authenticity is really about honoring our sense of safety and honoring where we are at in our journey. Oftentimes our ego wants us to be here, but our heart is actually here. And there's this discrepancy between the two. And it's that space in between that when we try and fit that space in between, when we're not ready, our central nervous system will become extremely activated. We'll experience anxiety, we'll experience nervousness, we'll experience fear, and that's where we know we're actually betraying ourselves and we're not being authentic to ourselves. So we need to be really mindful of how our body is communicating to us constantly when we're using the question, how much of me can I be? Sometimes it means we need to pull back, sometimes it means we need to move forward. And it takes practice, it takes time, and it takes discernment. And it's a lot of this is really just trial and error and being gentle with yourself along the way and seeing what's going to work for you and what isn't. I want to make it very clear that the idea of having masks and walls up and guards and all this sort of stuff, it's very normal, it's very natural, and it means we're honoring ourselves, because sometimes we're put in situations where it's not okay to be our authentic self. It's not okay to, be self-liberated and be like, how much of me can I be in this moment? Well, we realize that part of that process is safety. And if we're in an environment where we can't be safe, why would we want to bring forth ourselves? Why would we want to let our walls down, right? So being very, very mindful when your walls are up and when they're down is the key. It's not about having them or not having them. It's about being mindful when they're up and when they're not. So we can start to work with them and we can start to understand that, okay, this situation, this type of person makes me feel unsafe. Therefore, my walls are up. But when I'm over here and this type of person, this situation makes me feel at ease, then I know that I can bring my walls down. And then you can start to choose and you can start to put yourself in situations where you'll thrive and you'll flourish. That's what this is about, okay? Not everybody's going to be your tribe. And you find your tribe by letting your masks and letting your walls down a bit, and then you start to relate to people, you start to connect with people and let people see you. That's how this process of authenticity is done. But then sometimes I even have times where I put myself in situations and my masks and my walls go up because I don't feel safe, and that's just how we protect ourselves. And when we start to understand that, we no longer have to feel shame for hiding, right? We can just honor the fact that this isn't the right situation or environment for me to feel safe, and then you can start to seek out places that do, okay? I call that knowing when to proceed and when to retreat, right? There's a time and place for both, moving forward and retreating. So, and then a lot of this work is really just about respecting your boundaries, right? We all have these boundaries of what's going to feel safe for us and not, and we listen to our body. Our body is what communicates this to us. So I always say, for me, whenever I'm in a situation where I feel unsafe, I feel constricted, right? I feel a knot in my tummy, and it tells me, no, you don't feel safe here, so don't let your walls fully down. You know what I mean? And then when I'm feeling safe and I'm with my tribe mates and the people that make me feel the safest, I feel expansive. I feel possibility. I feel opportunity. It's just a completely different experience. So I want you to reframe how you look at that question. How much of me can I be? And look at it that it has both directions. And it's all about honoring your authenticity and being able to shrink the gap between what your ego or what your mind wants and what your body wants. And that is going to align you to exactly what you need by just simply listening to your body more than you listen to your mind when it comes to what feels right. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Always, please leave some comments and some questions. Let me know what's going on for you, where you're at in your process. I love to hear about this sort of stuff. It is what I live for. So share your thoughts and feelings with me and where you're at in your journey in respect to relationship with yourself. And in this question, how much of you can you be? What are you sharing with the world? What are you holding back and why? Yeah, okay. Much love. Thanks for tuning in.